Hi, welcome back to Selena's Table and our little Aussie homestead. I'm Selena. Today we are going out into the garden. I want to do a garden tour. There's nothing out there really to pick at the moment, but I really want to do a bit of like a video log, a video journal, so that later on in the season, we've just hit spring, later on in spring, I can see how things have progressed. When you live with the garden outside and you go out there every day to water it, it's really easy not to see the growth, I guess. So this is more of a video diary, maybe. I'm gonna grab a basket anyway. So yesterday I harvested some potatoes for dinner. And where they were growing, it was just this little tiny bed. I'm going to plant some ginger. So I'm going to bring the basket, because you can see my ginger has sprouted. So we're going to plant that. I've also got all this turmeric that I grew last year, and all I planted was 5 little fingers, and I got all this, plus we have used some. I'm thinking I'll plant that another day because I think it's going to go in my other potato bed, which I haven't harvested. I only harvested potatoes yesterday because I needed them for dinner. So I'm going to put my ginger in my basket. Let's go. So I'm actually thinking, now that I'm in the garden, that like cauliflower there, I think I need to pull it out, but I'll show you that. Okay, first up, let's see blueberries. Now I definitely haven't got enough blueberry plants to do anything other than have a little snack. So that's our strawberry and blueberry, and we have another pot there with another one in it. Passion fruit on the fence. This bed, these are my tomatoes. I actually can't remember which ones they are. And I've put basil in between. There's some more there. We've got some mushrooms growing. And these are marigolds at the front. This is one of my little worm farms with bugs in it. But yeah, so these are my tomatoes. The first lot of my tomatoes. And over here, these are purple bush beans. They are flowering. So I'm very excited that we'll be getting some beans soon. We currently have nothing green coming out of the garden. This is our herbs. This is our dead coriander. Done. Chives, some mint, parsley. And here, and yes, you'll see, the world's ugliest tomato vine is gone. It died, it was done. So I just put a little bit of compost in here, and I've actually seeded this with carrots. So that's in the water now, but yeah, that's growing carrots. Over here, our asparagus bed has come back to life, and we have just been snacking on them, but there's one there growing. And this is that bean that I didn't pull out in our last video, because it has still grown and it's given us the odd bean. So I've just been coming out here and picking the odd bean and having a little snacky snack, but we're certainly not getting enough to eat, like with dinner. Cabbages, I don't think the carrots in the middle there are going to grow. Oh no, there's some orange down there. I don't think they'll get very big. These, not ready. Over here, the first of our lettuce for the season, and some zinnias on the end. We have been eating this as we go. Everything's due for a water right now. That's a raspberry in that one. Oregano and another raspberry in that pot. This is now my sweet potato bin. So they're sweet potato vines. I still have a couple of winter veggies sitting there that I need to pull out. but I'll just leave them for now. The passion fruit, we harvested most of that. I did do a video, but the audio just didn't work, so I never did publish it, but we did get all of our passion fruit. This is another bush bean, and I believe I've got purple and green in here. The cool thing about these purple ones is that when you cook them, they actually go green. And in here, they are some potatoes, and there's actually a rock melon vine in there as well. And that yellow flower there, that's rock melon. Coming over here to this side of that bed, they are my pole beans there. And in Australia, I've noticed that a bush bean is also called a dwarf bean. So if you're looking for packets of seed, dwarf means the bush variety, and climbing or pole bean is the one that goes crazy like this. So this is a pole bean or a climbing bean, and down the bottom here, although it's dead almost, that's a bush variety. Just to keep in mind for anyone looking to buy some bean seeds. You will need climbing ones to have something to climb on, so I've got the arch there, and I have planted on this side as well. In the middle here I've planted more lettuce seed, and over here this was our pumpkin. Remember the pumpkin that overtook everything? Well, he's gone, and in here I have planted lettuce here, and you can just see we're getting some babies come up. Along the trellis there we have cucumbers on the back side and some snow peas on the front. I think it'll be too hot for the snow peas, but I planted them anyway. This one here, these are all cucumbers. I've got a couple of different varieties. Some are for pickling and some are for fresh eating. So I'm hoping to have a good cucumber season. Last year was fantastic, but I'm hoping this year is as well. And I've just taken the net off my cabbage patch so that you can have a look. So here is the cabbages, and I've just taken the net off. This is a mosquito netting that I keep over the top. I picked one and it wasn't ready, and I've also got my nasturtiums in here. And they have started going to seed, so I need to come out here and collect some seeds as well. They're all in there. They're really big seeds for a nasturtium, so they're really easy to collect. And this is probably my biggest one, but they're still just too small. It might be the type. I've never grown this type of cabbage before. I've never grown this curly leafed type of cabbage before, so we'll see how it goes. Over here, this is where we harvested all our carrots the other week, and that's where our beetroot were. So now what we've got in here is Roma tomatoes, and some haven't survived. These discs are to try and keep some of the magpies away. We've been losing seedlings to the magpies, so I'm hoping it'll help. More Roma tomatoes, baby boo, pumpkin in the middle, and marigolds on the end. And I do have some basil here. There is my little tiny capsicums bed. This, I'm thinking we might pull this out and give it to the chickens, because you can see that the caterpillars have moved in and nothing is safe. That's aphids are just, yeah, this is grossing me out. I want to pull these out, so I'm going to pull these out today. And here we have some zucchini babies. Over here we have some beans. These beans are very happy, so I'm not sure what we're doing wrong there. This tomato grew himself. So we've got, I was going to say we've got one, but we've already lost it. So that's gone. This is our next batch of carrots here. Oh, look at this. Oh, these are my favourite. This is the red, Queen Red with Lime Zinnia. That's what that one is, and it's my absolute favourite. Some little capsicums. These are our red cabbages that don't get netted, and they're getting destroyed, so they might need to come out as well. I'll feed them to the chickens. Chickens will have them. It is almost time for our onion harvest. According to my calendar, it's now, but I don't think they're quite ready. This one is so big. That's probably my biggest one, but yeah. So I think a few more days. I don't know. If you've harvested onions before and you know, feel free to comment and let me know. Are these ready? Over here, this was the potato bed I harvested yesterday, and this is where we will plant our ginger. Over here, where we're going to plant the ginger. This barrel here has potatoes in it, and this is where we're going to put the turmeric as soon as I have harvested these. These potatoes aren't quite as ready as those ones were, so I have left them. I'll probably need another week or two, I reckon. And then we'll harvest those and we can plant some turmeric for the summer. And look at these. I love zinnias. Last year was the first year I'd ever grown them, and I'll always grow them now. In this barrel here, I have more bush beans. These are all green varieties, and they seem to be doing okay. They're nearly ready to flower, so that's good. Behind me here, this is my corn bed. So I have a few different varieties of corn, and I know you're not really meant to grow corn that close together, especially different varieties, but I'm doing it anyway. And in between my corn, actually with every corn seed that I planted, I actually planted a dried bean variety. So I've got some beans in here as well, so I'll show you those. So these, sorry about all the birds and traffic, it's just what it is. This bed of corn is my golden bantam. There's my little seed packet, golden bantam corn, and I have grown the scarlet runner bean. So that's what these are, and they'll grow up the corn, and they will be a dried bean that will pick. So they will just die off before I pick them. Some zinnias in the middle. I'm going to put them more in here now that I know that actually came up. Which I'll go from there. This one here is the Jolly Roger sweet corn, and again they probably are the scarlet runner beans, or they'll be the Borlotti dried beans. Some carrots. We've got a big gap here, so I will put some more in. These are zucchinis. We have the Italian striped zucchini there, and that one there is a yellow zucchini. These are my Cinderella pumpkins, growing here on the edge, and these are Borlotti beans. So there's the tag, and this corn is actually a blue corn here. So this is the blue hoppy corn in that one. We'll see how they go. This bed here I have started planting it up, and what I planted was some black beans, just from a supermarket packet. So we'll see how they go, see if they grow. This is the hottest part of the vegetable garden, and the rest, there's nothing in there yet. Coming down from there, I forgot, I didn't show you these two beds. Mainly nothing's changed in these. These are my leeks here, and they are growing. I had one last night with dinner. It was beautiful. Chilies, we've got a few here that we need to harvest. And I'm actually going to make some chili sauce this week. So I'll collect these as well today. And over here, I gave my celery a haircut, and I'm actually going to cut it off and just leave the stumps in the ground and see how it does. And here I did plant some more of those black beans. Over here we have a couple of gladioli flowers, some zinnias. Those carrots there I'm letting go to seed. I want to see if I can get seed. They are colourful carrots, so that's just an experiment. These potatoes here, they were ones that were dead in the bottom of the fridge from a shop, from like supermarket potatoes. So I'm just seeing how they go. That's why they're over here on their own. And those 3 leeks there. So I need to collect the chilies, I need to plant out my ginger in that little pallet bed, and I want to pull out all the broccoli cauliflower. So that's what I'm going to do out here today. And now we know what we look like at the very first week of October, what the garden's looking like. I'll come back and do another garden video soon so that we can see how things have grown. Hopefully we're going to start harvesting soon, because harvesting is the most fun. And yeah, so I'm going to grab my basket and start planting my ginger. And I'm going to grab a couple of these nasturtium seeds since I'm out here. So I'm just gonna hang on to those, pop them in there, and we'll plant this first. I can't forget to get those chilies. When planting ginger, I need to have a little eye like this. Now, a few of mine have multiple eyes, like this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to snap that off, because every eye will become a little plant and potentially produce its own little clump of tubers. I mean, there's still 4 on there. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'll probably just plant him like that. And the ground like this, so that the little plant part is coming up. Okay, so I'm going to snap off a few of my little eyes first. Now this is a good example. This one's a fresher. It hasn't quite shriveled up yet. But if you're looking to plant ginger for the first time, so these little nodules are what will turn into an eye. And you can see here, one is just starting there to try and break out. This is our ginger, but I did also buy some, so not all of it is actually ours. Most of it is ours from growing last year. But when I buy it, I make sure I get local, because you want it to be acclimatized to the conditions that you live in, and also you need to soak it for 24 hours, because most ginger farmers put some kind of retardant thing on it to stop it doing this. I'm just going to pop them in the dirt. Nice little spot. So we can see in here like that, and put one over there. You can grow ginger in a pot. That's why I'm growing it in this little tiny bed, because it will take over. So will the turmeric. If you allow it to, it'll take over. So I am growing it in this one. Last year I had it in a pot, and I had the turmeric in the corner of a bed. Just going to move some of this mulch, and it was okay. but I need the beds this year for other things. And I'll give this a good water. I need to water all the plants this morning so everything will get a good water. Okay, and that's it. As it gets hotter and hotter, these will start coming up. And if a little plant comes up, then I know my ginger is growing. So that's one job done. Alright, let's get some of these little chilies. These are the super hot ones, these yellow ones. So, get those. Where all the red ones are. I've got a huge problem with ants going on at the moment, and I just am getting over it because they're killing my worms. I've just noticed there's more walking around in this bed. This little tiny one. Okay. Oh look, that basil has come back. I thought I'd pulled all the basil out. I didn't. So I'll add those to the bag in the freezer for when I make my chili sauce. So now I think it's time to tackle this. I think we'll just pull it out, pop it in the wheelbarrow and take it up to the chickens. I don't know what I did wrong this year with broccoli and cauliflower. It's my first year really growing it. I did get 3 of those little tiny cauliflowers that were in that timber bed up there where the herbs are, but yeah, this bed that I dedicated to them, I got nothing. So I mean, I could leave them, but there's bugs all over them, so I figured they're done. So next year we'll have to think of something different. Maybe we'll start netting. That's what this is. This is electrical conduit on top of cyclone bar. There, if you can see that. Okay, to create a hoop, and then we've put one through the middle as a stabilizer, held with a zip tie, and this here is a bit of PVC water pipe, the flexi stuff. And what we do is we hang our green shade over these hoops and use that black as like a clamp, and this helps with the summer, with the heat from our summer, because it gets just so hot here. Okay, I don't want to get these bugs on everything else. So I'm just snapping off the cauliflower plant, and then I'll pull the root out. I'm not just yanking the whole, I'm not just pulling the whole plant out because I don't want to shake any of these little bugs into any other beds. I want them to go to the chickens and make me eggs. Definitely think I planted these too close together because some of them are super tiny and they seem to get really tall, which makes me think they were fighting for like sun. My little tag. Wheelbarrow is, I've already done actually a bundle up there. This is our chicken coop, and the girls have already started. This is the mountain I'm going to throw over there. I was already up here earlier. I was up here earlier collecting the eggs. We got 8 today. So we have 13 chickens and 1 rooster. And we have bred our own before, and some of these are our babies. So it was not to get any cauliflower or broccoli out of that heap of plants. When I really looked at it, when I pulled them out, I realised I had so many in there, and I think I planted too many too close together, and I think I may have planted them a bit late. They were a sprouting variety, not the bald variety, but still, chicken food, more eggs, nothing goes to waste, even though it was a disappointment and I put it down as a fail on our part. We'll try again next year. I'm going to go and water my plant, the vegetable garden now, and just amend that bed a bit. I'm going to put blood and bone meal in there, and I'm going to see if I have anything else. I may have some seaweed solution there too I might water in, because I think they might be quite heavy feeders. I'll have to research that, but I think that the cauliflower broccoli are heavy in the feeding. The dirt down there, what's left of the soil, it looks really dry and just lifeless, if you know what I mean. When you want a healthy, dark coloured soil, you want moisture in there. I don't think there's any worms left in there. I think they might have all been eaten by other bugs. And so yeah, I'm going to have to do a bit of work before I can plant that up. But it is spring, it's the very beginning of spring, really, it's the first week of October, so it's mid-spring. Nothing coming out yet. I will pull those onions. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to keep watering these plants, spending time with me in the garden today. We're using a trickle hose at the moment because we have not enough water in our rainwater tanks, so we've got a little pod water tank just for the garden. But thank you for spending time with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and feel free to share around with your friends. Let's see how